Welcome to this B2b Web Server video on how to set up Microsoft Outlook to work with your new website email accounts. First, make sure that you know the username and passwords that have been set up for you, or call us if you need additional ones set up. The next thing you're going to do is figure out which version of Outlook you have and which version of Windows that you're using. This is 2007 on Windows XP. What you're looking for is Tools and then Accounts. So click those. I've already set up my account just to save you the time of having to watch me type everything in, but it'll be pretty much the same. You select New, I'm going to select Change. The first thing you're going to put in is your username and then your email address, whatever it is. Mine's bbasilico at B2b, whatever your website is, it's going to be your username at yourwebsite.com. The next thing is the account type. It's POP3. That's what we want to use. You can set up IMAP. You'll have to call us on that one. The incoming mail server is mail.yourwebaddress.com.org, whatever it is. So it's mail. And then whatever your web address is. Your outgoing mail server can be mail. Whatever your web server address is. But in a lot of cases, AT&T, Comcast, and other ISPs block you from using that. So you may have to set it up to work with your AT&T or Comcast account or whatever your ISP is. So I'm using smtp.att.yahoo.com, which is what my Uverse service asks me to use. You'll have to check with your ISP and figure out what those settings are, but the rest of this should pretty much go smoothly. Next, you want your full username and also the B2b-IM or whatever your website name is, and then your password, and remember the password. We do not require login using SPA. The next thing that you're going to want to do is go to More Settings. There's a few things you have to set up here. Mail account is just a description of what it is. You can call it your name or so on and so forth. The organization, and then whatever you want the reply email to be. I set it to go to info. It could go back to your original account. Next is the outgoing server. It does require, at least on AT&T, to have SMTP authentication. So what you do is you log on using whatever the email address is set up on that AT&T account. You're going to have to check with your ISP and figure out maybe info@att.net or whatever your account is set up at. And so make sure you have that username and password, and remember the password. It does not require SPA, and you don't have to log in first to your incoming server. Connection should pretty much be exactly what it is. Connect via my LAN or using my LAN. And then finally, the advanced settings. Your incoming server for B2B is going to be 110. That's a default. The outgoing server for AT&T is 465. So the B2B server uses the 110, but AT&T requires this 465. It also requires SSL authentication. And I don't want to leave a copy of the message on my server. I prefer to download them. It's completely up to you. And when you're finished, you click OK. The last thing you do is test the account settings. If everything is set up properly, it will log onto your incoming mail server, and then we'll send an outgoing test to make sure that the outgoing mail server is working. If both of these check marks come in, you've got it set up correctly. If you're having any issues, give us a call at 630-692-1431, but make sure you talk to your ISP first to make sure that all that information is correct on your outgoing mail server.